There's
Oh, goodness.
a couple of weeks ago, maybe it was just over a week and a half ago, I guess, there was a amazing strike where some of the most valuable people in America walked out on their employers to strike against inequality. Did you hear about this?
Wow, who was this? Like truck drivers?
No.
Police officers?
More
Police
important.
officers.
More
Oh,
important.
More important than them, huh?
Yeah.
Teachers?
No, much more important.
Doctors?
Ready for this?
Moms.
No, more important than our own mothers.
Holy crap.
And these people are the most underappreciated people, more underappreciated than the mothers.
Who was it?
Fast food workers.
Oh, yeah, they are pretty important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why they go on strike?
because they want a pay raise. They feel like they're,
Like more than their 35 cents a year.
well, they make a little bit more than that.
Well, I mean,
Due
more
to
than
regulation.
their 35 cents per hour per year raise.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Many of them make minimum wage, depending on the state that you live in. Minimum
Sure.
wage is set state by state. You can make,
It's around like $7.50 right now.
yeah,
Right?
the national average, I think, is around $7.50.
Is there a federally mandated minimum wage?
Yeah.
Yes,
I think it's
there is.
$7.25 right
But
now.
most
Is
of
that-
the states are above that.
Yeah.
Are above that minimum wage.
Interestingly enough, the federal government could leave things alone and states will do things on their own.
Weird.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive because I remember this happening. I was a senior in high school and we were talking about it in our social studies class or whatever. They're talking about raising the minimum wage, and it's funny that's coming back around because it always does.
Uh-huh.
Always. So here's what's going on. They are looking to get $15 an hour.
More than double
Yeah.
the
It's-
federal minimum wage of $7.25.
$15 an hour. Give them over $30,000 a year to be flipping burgers.
Wow. I think I'm going to go work in a burger joint if that happens.
Have like no responsibilities,
Uh-huh.
and then still make enough money to get by. I mean, you're not breaking the bank. But here's the thing. So with this going on, there's a couple of articles that have come out that have been like, hey, we need to pay attention because these 1%ers are oppressing their employees. And they've tried to actually reach across the aisle and try to get some people who are more of our understanding in regards to welfare and taxation, right?
You're talking about the Huffington Post article that basically says paying these people minimum wage actually makes us pay more in taxes.
Yes. The first paragraph
Yeah,
of
that's a
this
good one.
freaking article is taxpayers spend about $7 billion per year to help pay workers who are employed by an industry that rakes in $200 billion annually.
Oh my God.
So wait. $7 billion
McDonald's makes $200 billion.
No. That's just the industry.
Taco Bell makes $200
Nope.
billion.
No, the industry.
All of the restaurants.
All of them create
All the
an
competing
industry.
Every
restaurants.
fast food restaurant in America combined.
$200 billion annually.
How? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fast food restaurants.
Well,
in America.
here's the problem with that. All of those fast food restaurants are owned by the same person.
That's not true.
That is totally not true. They're franchises. These are franchises, so it's not even owned by like a small select group. They're individually owned. Many of them are. I mean,
By racist old white guys.
what? I was like, I have a friend.
That's
who
just the
owns a
go-to,
KFC,
man.
and he's not white.
Well, you just blame the racist old white guys for everything.
That is a easy
Oh, and they're
go-to.
greedy too.
Here's the thing. They're basically saying that because these companies don't pay their employees more, that we are subsidizing those companies because their employees tend to be on welfare. Not tend to, they can be on welfare, or they qualify for welfare.
So they make $7.50, fast food employees, and because that's not enough to live on, they go get welfare. Mm-hmm. And because of that, taxpayers are footing the bill for that in some that's
with
costing us.
with like Medicare and food stamps and stuff. Here's my thing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm
Jeremy.
sorry. I got to interject something here. I was trying to find an answer to my own question because I thought it would be an interesting statistic to talk about how many fast food restaurants are actually in America and how many restaurants are we actually dividing that $200 billion among. That $200 billion, right? Mm-hmm. That's so much money, that $200 billion. Well, according to the Pew Research Center, it's $110
billion.
billion.
between
It's
every
half what Huffington Post reported.
Interesting. Now, mind you, they have listed here, and they have like a little graph that kind of shows each company and how much that company. It says estimated average annual cost of low wage workers to public assistance. So it goes through and it talks about like McDonald's costs the public assistance or welfare programs $1.2 billion, and then KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell, which are all owned by the same company, cost $648 million. See, here's the thing. They're like saying, oh, it's this much money. It's this much money that they're costing them. And then they say, oh, and a McDonald's CEO makes $13.8 million in salary. Here's the issue. A few years ago, there was a question. I remember reading it, and I could probably find it fairly easily. But the McDonald's CEO, actually, he was speaking to a couple of ASU students, and my wife had heard this because she's going to ASU for business. But they asked him, he asked the crowd of students, what kind of business do you think I'm in? And they're all like kind of laughing, and they're saying, oh, you're in the food business. You're in the fast food business. And he goes, no, I'm in real estate because I don't own a fast food company. I own a franchise. I build these fast food buildings.
Matthew Kroc, owner of McDonald's.
Yeah. I build these things so that they become valuable as a real estate commodity in locations that are valuable. And then I sell them. I don't operate any of these. They're franchises. So these are individual owners who are footing the bill for these salaries. It isn't this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't hire and fire these regular employees. So they're like, oh, yeah, this CEO makes this much money. Well, it's because he's selling hamburgers to a franchise owner. And that franchise owner has invested their own money into building one of these facilities. They don't have In-N-Out Burger on here. That happens to not be a franchise. And they pay their employees $10 an hour. But even that's not 15. It's not a living wage.
Their hideously enlarged statistic doesn't even include In-N-Out Burger?
No. Well, they didn't list In-N-Out Burger as one of these like heinous companies. Probably because In-N-Out Burger pays their employees $10 an hour. But like I said, that's not the 15 that they're going for. Not to mention $10 an hour is not a living wage. In most states, you're not going to survive on $10 an hour unless you have multiple jobs. Now, here's the thing that bothers me in this whole scenario. When you're looking at this, they're saying, yeah, these employees don't make very much. They make $10,000 a year, so that these companies don't have to pay insurance. They don't get more than like 25 to 30 hours a week. My question is, if you're working if I asked you, Jeremy, for money, and I said, I'm only really getting 25 hours a week at work, and I'm only getting paid minimum wage, what would you think would be the most beneficial thing to say to me?
No, you need to go get another job.
Oh, a second job? How many hours do you work, Strons, at your job?
40 plus.
Okay, and
Easy.
you know where I work as my full-time job, and I easily work 40 plus.
Oh, yeah.
And Jeremy?
I work about 20 hours a week.
And I
go to school for about 20 to 30 hours a week.
Right?
Also.
So you're pretty busy.
Yeah.
If I wasn't going to school and I was working 20 to 25 hours a week, before I asked anybody for a dime, I'd say, okay, I need to do one of two things. I need to get a new job or I need to get a second job. Because clearly I have a lot of time sitting on my butt at home if I'm only working 25 hours a week. Half of every day I'm doing something that it doesn't bring income to the family, to the home.
Yeah. Well, and what's interesting is there's a lot of people in the comments who basically agree with the premise of this article, saying that, yeah, because fast food companies aren't paying their employees enough money, that the employees have to go on welfare, so that's the taxpayer's problem. Well, it ultimately is the taxpayer's problem, but the solution isn't to pay the employees more. It's to limit the ability to get aid from the federal government. And yeah, that might make the employees uncomfortable making $7.50 an hour.
Oh, you wouldn't want them to be uncomfortable during their life at
I
McDonald's.
know, but here's the thing. If you're uncomfortable at $7.50, it's incentive for you to do something about it.
No.
Shocking.
Yes. See how that works?
Strons, what?
That's so weird.